Hello everyone, welcome to Mark and Gary on a Free. It's Sunday, which means a new video, but as of last week, Wednesday also means a new video now. Wednesday is more of a chilled video, where I just talk about stuff, or I just upload a random video, and Sunday is more of a structured sit down video where I talk. But yeah, there's going to be videos every Wednesday and every Sunday, so keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes peeled. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, today I am wearing my Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them t-shirt, which on the back has the logo as well. This video is Harry Potter themed, and I'm going to be sorting the next step characters into their Hogwarts houses because I don't know who suggested it. I'll leave their comment here, and it got loads of thumbs ups and I dropped the microphone. It got loads of thumbs up, and it got also lots of replies saying, yeah, do this, it's a good idea. So I'm doing it. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed with my hair. Okay, so my hair looks a bit awful. Like, look at this, like. But we're gonna do the video anyway because I don't know, I'm becoming a lot more comfortable on camera. So on my phone, I have been sorting the characters into their houses. I've been doing it based on a picture that I found, based on some pictures that I found online, just of personality traits that each of the houses have and stuff like that. If you don't know what Hogwarts houses are, basically in the world of Harry Potter, there's a school called Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. All the witches and wizards get taught there, if they're English anyway, because Hogwarts is in Scotland, I believe. And once they go there, they get sorted into one of four houses. They're either Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. I'm a Hufflepuff, as I explained on Wednesday's video, so if you haven't seen that, go watch that after this. I'm a Hufflepuff, and basically each of the houses has different traits. Like, there's a reason why you're put into a certain house and why you're sorted into it. So I have been sorting the next step characters into their appropriate houses and what I think they'd be in. Obviously, this is just my opinion. Like, I haven't used the official Hogwarts sorter because I don't know what the characters would answer for their questions, but I have been very smart about it and I have taken a lot of time and effort, so they are pretty accurate, I'd say. So first off, we're going to start with Gryffindor, which is obviously Harry, Hermione, Ron's house. But Gryffindor is characterised as being experience orientated. They're honest, practical, quite blunt but passionate. They're playful, funny, they live in the moment. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're quite trusting, they have big ideas, but they can be stubborn and they can be quite set in their ways, like they won't want to back down from an idea. They're also quite prone to procrastinating, and they're quite wary of manipulators and liars. It's important to remember that Gryffindors also have quite a strong moral centre, so they'll do something most of the time because it's the right thing to do rather than it'll give them the best reward. And they like the opportunity to make a change and be recognised for making the change. So bear those things in mind when I tell you who's in Gryffindor. First off, I have put Ozzy in Gryffindor. Ozzy is definitely a playful and funny person, so he does have those traits of Gryffindor, but ultimately what did it for me, Ozzy doesn't take himself too seriously, but he is very much wary of manipulation and liars, which is what it says on Gryffindor. The thing that made me think of this in particular is when Kingston was lying and saying that he'd done all his schoolwork and that he was fine with school, and actually he'd been failing all of his classes, and Ozzy was trying to get him to realise his ways, and he confessed to Emily and Michelle that Kingston should be the alternate because he hasn't been doing his schoolwork.
I told Emily and Michelle everything. I did not want to do this, but I had to. It was best for the team and it was best for Kingston.
And that's quite a brave thing to do because you're going to sacrifice your friendship to do the right thing. And Gryffindors do the right thing because of their moral centre. So Ozzy was very much a Gryffindor for me in that case. My next two Gryffindors are a double act. It's Michelle and Emily. I think they're both Gryffindors because a trait of Gryffindor is that you're experience orientated. So basically you learn from what you've already experienced. And I think Michelle and Emily have definitely done that. They both have quite a playful relationship as well. So it's not like they're silly and they're not completely carefree. They just have a playful relationship. Like, they have funny moments, but they can also be serious when they need to be.
I am pretty cool. Thank you.
What? Emily in particular is quite stubborn sometimes and isn't easily like told to back down from ideas, so she's definitely a Gryffindor in that sense. And she's also quite a perfectionist. But I'd say Michelle is very wary of manipulation and liars, because in the past she's obviously had to get out of the way of the e-girls, and just she's always had to be quite conscious and like watching her back, I think.
There's something going on here. You guys need to work together every single day to be a better team. Not everyone can always be front and center all the time. It just doesn't work that way.
So both of them fall into categories that class them as Gryffindors. An important thing to notice about Gryffindors is that they're not necessarily irresponsible, even though they're playful. They own up to their mistakes. And in that scene in season 5, well, the whole episode, where Emily and Michelle were kind of reviewing their whole relationship as it's been from season 1, they were both saying where they've both kind of been bad people and not been the most considerate. And I feel like that is definitely them reflecting and owning up to their mistakes, as it says. So yeah, they're definitely Gryffindors in my book.
If I were to put myself in Emily's shoes, I guess I now see where she's coming from. I realize it might not have been as easy for her as I originally thought.
We're next going to do Gryffindor's rival house, which is Slytherin. And Slytherin is the house that Draco Malfoy was in, Severus Snape was in, Lord Voldemort was in, well, should I say that out loud? Tom Riddle was in Slytherin as well. And I have firstly put Rochelle in Slytherin. And I did really want to put her in Gryffindor because I felt it would just be really, like, expected that Rochelle would be a Slytherin. But actually, Slytherin does suit her the best. So if I read out the characteristics for Slytherin, Slytherins are ambitious, driven, they're focused on their goals, they're determined, prepared, they're perfectionists, they're adaptable, realistic, they're big on cost and benefit analysis, so they look at what are the pros and what are the cons, and they like to weigh out situations. They're self-reliant, charming, bold, able to separate their ideas of themselves from what they actually do, and they're able to use their intelligence as a tool to achieve their goals. They are not, though, disloyal, so they're very much selective of who their loyalty is to. So then they don't have a problem with disassociating themselves from people that they don't care about, but also for the people they do care about, they're going to be very loyal to them. They also don't completely disregard the opinions of others, even though they're quite full of themselves and confident. They thrive off positive attention, and they like to receive like critiques and feedback, I'd say. As well as this, Slytherins also treat people the same way that they treat them. Like they don't treat people nicer than they've been treated, but they don't treat them any less. So as I said, I'd put Rochelle in Slytherin, very much so. Like she's a perfectionist, she works hard, but also, especially in season 6 when her loyalty was kind of tested, she was very loyal to the team, even though she had to call out their weaknesses and make them go against her. She was very, like, she knew that she was doing the right thing, even though no one else could see it. She didn't really care. She just wanted to get the mission accomplished. I don't know how to phrase it, but you know, she had a goal and she went for the goal. Even though people were turning on her and not really having faith in her, she knew that it would end up good. So she weighed up the pros and the cons and went for it anyway.
Henry can't do ballet at all. Jackie only dances with one facial expression.
She's very charming, she's very talented, she's a perfectionist, definitely, she's bold. And yeah, she's just a definite Slytherin for me. For the same kind of reasons, Lily is also a Slytherin for me. Although Lily is probably a bit more temperamental than Rochelle is, and a little bit more high maintenance.
Humility is good and all, but when you have talent, you want to show it.
Lily is very much a perfectionist. She likes to be told that she's doing things right as well. Like she thrives on praise. She didn't really know how to handle it when people didn't like her at the next step and when people started to go against her and her mom. Lily's also very focused on her goals and what she wants. Like from the get-go, she was like, I want to be dance captain. I don't care about the rest of this team. I just know what I want and I'm going to get it.
I'm sorry, I can't make you dance captain. But Noah can, and you and him seem pretty friendly.
Obviously, it says that Slytherins aren't completely heartless and they do have feelings. And Lily showed that she did have a good heart at the end of season 6 when her mum got caught out for cheating. She was the first to say that she doesn't want to win like that. She wants to win fair and square, which is also a Slytherin trait. Like, they want to win because they're the best, you know, not in an arrogant way, but just because they're the best. They want to win fair and square.
Because if I have to cheat to win, then I don't want to win.
Another Slytherin is Jackie, and these three basically would be great friends, I think. Jackie is definitely a Slytherin to me, and I was going to put her in Gryffindor because she has a lot of qualities that cross over, but her perfectionist nature and the fact that, like, she's always bold and she thrives when people give her attention, and she's not manipulative, but I feel like if she wants something, she'll try and get it.
No, Rochelle, you change your dress. You're the one that double-crossed me.
Well, I don't have another dress to change into.
Guess what? I don't either.
Front row and center? She just started at the next step.
And also when Noah was complimenting Summer on her turns, she was like, Noah's no longer my duet partner, I'm having somebody else.
Summer's a good dancer, but her turns aren't great, like Noah said.
So next we have Ravenclaw, and Ravenclaw are the house that is kind of known for being clever. Like, they're the kind of the cleverest house. They're categorised as being analytical, intelligent, logical, yet impractical. So they're kind of absent-minded, but they're smart in a way. They're curious, creative, quite witty. They're observers rather than participants. So usually they'd be the ones that aren't on the front row. They're probably going to be on the second row or at the back row, but they know what they're doing, like they're confident people. They're also probably going to be fond of intellectual discussions, independent and self-entertaining. They also can be quite emotional people, so that is also something to think about. And also they're people that are good at something, but only if they're interested in it usually. So they're probably going to have one thing that they're really, really good at, and they're probably going to be average at everything else. So the people that I have put into Ravenclaw, I think fit it very well. First off, there's Zara, and Zara was our mathlete dancer. She was in season 5, and she made it very clear that she had an ambition for math. And why am I saying math like I'm an American? Maths. It's maths in England, like you take a maths lesson, not a math lesson. Zara is really good at maths, and she made it quite clear that that was what she enjoyed. So she's clearly very intellectual.
I do equations on the fly.
So that means you're pretty smart.
I know a theorem or two.
And because maths and dance were obviously her important two things that she was really strong at, I feel like everything else was kind of average. Like, even her storyline in the next step was pretty average. Like, she didn't really have an impact on me. I'm not really sad that she's not in the show. That's not the actor, that's not Milena, that is Zara. But Zara didn't really have an effect on me, but we know that she's good at things. So I think that's very much a Ravenclaw thing to have, like that kind of effect on people. Like, they know what you're good at, but they don't really know much about the rest of you. Obviously, because Zara is a dancer, she is also a creative person. And we've also seen her be not emotional as in like crying her eyes out, but we've seen her be quite sad at the prospect of not competing with the next step. And when she had her spot on the maths team taken away from her by that other guy that I can't remember his name. But yeah, Zara for me is definitely a Ravenclaw. I've also put Kenzie as a Ravenclaw because Kenzie is quite smart in the things that she says. Like, she's definitely witty. She has these one-liners where she just like boasts about herself, and even though that could be a Gryffindor or Slytherin trait, I feel like it's more witty than it is boastful.
There's no way I'm falling behind. You can't out Kenzie.
I'd say that Kenzie is definitely a curious person as well. Like, she's also obviously creative, but I feel like she's very curious. Like, she wants to know about other people.
What do you think you're doing?
Stretching.
Stretching or trying to get Davis out of the studio?
Yeah, I'd just say that Kenzie is a Ravenclaw. I've just realised that I haven't put any highlighter on at all. It's never too late. And last but not least, we have my house, which is Hufflepuff, which I would say is the best house to be in, purely because they're just nice people and we do things because it's the right thing to do rather than it benefiting us or benefiting other people. We just do things because why not do things, you know? This is probably the house that I've categorised the most amount of people into. First off, we have Noah, and I think Noah is definitely a Hufflepuff, and I'll read out the reasons I'll read out the characteristics of what a Hufflepuff is. So a Hufflepuff is hardworking, they're determined, they're quite tenacious, they're loyal, honest, genuine, well-rounded, fair and just, open-minded, good-hearted, accepting, compassionate, passionate, practical, patient, dependable, and they're not necessarily unemotional, but they have a tendency not to flaunt their emotions. So they're not going to be the person that has a breakdown, but they could be the person that has a breakdown, but they're probably not going to have a breakdown straight away. And also, a Hufflepuff's loyalty is not just, oh, you're my friend, so I'm loyal to you. They're loyal to the person that is probably nicest and the person that is in the right. They're not going to agree with a person just because they're their friend. They're going to agree with someone that is in the right in an argument and just has the best morals. So yeah, I've put Noah in Hufflepuff because he is a leader. He's super nice. Like, I don't think Noah's ever done anything that hasn't been nice to anyone. Also, he's dependable. He is a good role model, and he's just a lovely person. But I don't think he's bold enough to be in Gryffindor or Slytherin. Like, he's not that much of a perfectionist or really outgoing and ambitious. He's just really good, and he doesn't really know his own worth.
Noah, you're next level great. At this point, you're better than a troop.
Also for Noah, Noah is definitely a Hufflepuff because he's fair and he's justified. Like, when Piper voted him off the team purely because she didn't want to dance in an older category, Noah completely understood. Like, he didn't go off on a rampage and say, Piper, you're meant to be my friend, what are you doing? He was like, yeah, I understand.
I understand. And I know you're gonna get your Ariel any day now. I can't wait to see you nail it at regionals. And
I think that takes a lot of guts, because obviously Noah wanted to dance at regionals, but Piper was his friend and she had a fair point, so he accepted it. And that takes a lot of guts to do, but it also takes a real Hufflepuff to do. Also in Hufflepuff, I have put Summer, probably for the same kind of reasons as Noah. She's just a really lovely person. She's just super, super nice, but she's not nice in a way that's annoying, because you know how some people can be like overly nice and it's just fake. She's just warm-hearted and genuine as well. She's extremely hardworking and reliable and loyal, and she's just really an asset to the team. And I think that's why I like her so much, because she's valuable, I guess. Like, she is an asset to the team. There's no other way to describe it. Also in Hufflepuff for me is Lola from season 5. And although Lola wasn't like the best dancer on the team, and she wasn't really seen to be the most hardworking in a sense of like who was rehearsing the most and who was in the most dances, she was definitely one of the most loyal people on A Troop, and especially to her friends, and especially to Rochelle in particular. She was so loyal that she like sacrificed her own place on the team, her own place in the video, the regionals video, her own place like on A Troop. Just Lola is probably one of the most loyal people on A Troop we've ever had, and probably one of the nicest. She's up there with Summer, probably of the nicest people that have ever been on the team. Another trait of Hufflepuffs is that they're very patient people, and I think this was shown with Lola when she and Kingston tried to help each other learn things. Like, she was teaching him ballroom dancing and he was teaching her how to ride a hoverboard, and she was super duper patient with Kingston because he's not a person that has ever taken dance classes or anything. So she was patient, and she really like just used her good nature as a person to help him through, and she wasn't ever condescending or acted like she was better than him. She's just lovely. Like, I love Lola, and I wish she'd been in season 6 and season 7. Next in Hufflepuff is a couple that I wish were a couple, but that hopefully will be in season 7. It's Piper and Finn. I think that both Piper and Finn are in Hufflepuff as opposed to any other house, because they're both just lovely people. And although Finn is quite absent-minded and silly sometimes, I feel like more than anything he's a nice person, especially when Piper was really struggling with self-confidence and just her place, like seeing her value to the team. He was very good at assuring her that she was worth being on A Troop and that she was just a really good dancer. I don't think Finn had the chance to be emotional on the show, But because Hufflepuffs don't often flaunt their emotions, like they're not straight outright with what's wrong with them, I think that kind of fits into Finn's thing, because it's, oh, actually, when he did his whole Fruity Moons commercial and he told Piper about it, and then Piper told everyone, he was clearly upset and a bit angry about that, but he didn't want to outrightly say, I'm really angry with you. He kind of wanted to give Piper the benefit of the doubt. Like, even though it was hard for him, he hid his emotions quite well for a little bit, and then obviously it got too much.
I showed Emily and Michelle, and they thought it was hilarious, by the way.
But you promised that you would never, ever show anyone that video.
I didn't know you were serious.
So, like I said, Piper is also in Hufflepuff for me. I think just because of her emotions, like she keeps her emotions to herself until the point where she just explodes. Like when she was really upset that she had to do planks and that Miss Angela was really disregarding her. She didn't say anything at first, but then it really got too much and she exploded. And also when she missed her aerial in the finals and she was just all over the place, and then she went and cried and just sat by herself and refused to dance. Like, I think that's a very Hufflepuff thing to do, because they wear their emotions kind of, they keep them hidden, but then once they're out there, it's hard to rein them back in again. Piper is also one of the most hardworking people on Age Group, I think, as well. Piper's also very genuine, and I think that was shown in the prom episode. Like, she was open about the fact that she thought proms was stupid, and she didn't want to wear a dress to prom because she felt stupid, and she didn't want to go with a date to prom because it felt stupid. Like, she's very genuine in her feelings, and she's always been a very genuine person. I think that she gets that from her family though, because James, her older brother, is also a very genuine person, and he's also very like caring and passionate. So yeah, I'd say Piper is definitely a Hufflepuff. Lastly, in the Hufflepuffs, I would say Amy is also there. A Hufflepuff's loyalty is not free, and they very much give their loyalty to the people that have shown that they deserve it. So Amy's always been very loyal to her friends and always supported them, but when it comes to the team, she kind of ended her loyalty when the team ended the loyalty with her. So when the next step kind of said that she wasn't going to be featured as a dancer, she then left the team. And when Acro Nation said that they would feature her, she became loyal to them because they were loyal to her. And then I think in season 7, the next step will want her back and prove that they really want her. So then Amy will invest her loyalty back in them.
I just wanted to tell you that I was wrong. You are a lead dancer, and I see that now.
I think her selective loyalty is what makes her a Hufflepuff rather than any other house, because let's say for Gryffindors and Slytherins and Ravenclaws, they're more loyal to people that are either really nice to them, so they're loyal, or they can get something out of it, so they're loyal to them. So that is me sorting the Next Step characters into their Hogwarts houses. And if you agree with me, then give it a like. If you don't agree with me, then still give it a like. But comment down below what houses you would put those people in instead. I kind of did a mixture of people from different seasons. But maybe I could do a few more characters. So if you'd like me to carry on and do another video of this, then also comment that down below. Make sure you subscribed, because I upload every Sunday and Wednesday. Also put those notifications on so that you can be the first one to watch the video. And also when you are the first one to watch it, comment down below that you're the first, because I usually reply to the first person and say, yep, you were the first. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you next week with a new video.